Alright, so this is Dark Soul 84, and today I think I'm going to try something that I've kind of toyed with in the past, but I think I actually want to give a really good shot at, just to give it a good shot. So I'm going to play a little bit of Dark Souls 3 to get myself ready for Sekiro that comes out just in a couple days. So I wanted to start a Castlevania challenge in Dark Souls 3. And basically what I mean by that is I'm going to create a character, we're going to use whips, we're going to use a short sword, and then I'm going to limit myself to basically those two kinds of weapons. We're going to have one basic armor set, probably the warrior set without the helm, or the hard leather set, and then maybe a few miracles, and maybe some infusions for the whip and the short sword. But other than that, we're going to try to keep it just about the same as you would have weapons and items and things like that for a regular Castlevania game, like the old school NES and Super NES ones. I am going to allow the use of Estus Flasks because this game can get ridiculously tough at some points, and not having Estus would be, well, near impossible. So, having said that, I'm going to go create my character. And we'll see how hard this is going to be. I'm not imagining that this is going to be very easy. I'm actually thinking that this is going to be rather tough. The whip is a little bit of a hard weapon to use. So we'll see how this goes from there. And of course, my favorite Belmont, mainly because Castlevania 1 was one of the first two games that my brother and I got for our NES way back when. So Simon always has a special place in my heart. Let's make him mature. Now this is the part that I have been struggling with the most, is what class to start out with. He needs to have good dex for the whip, but I also want him to eventually have a decent amount of faith. I'm almost thinking Herald, because he starts out with decent faith and okay dex that I could work with. I'm also kind of leaning towards Mercenary, because he's got a lot of dex, and then I can build up the faith requirement later. When I actually need it. Because I'm not going to need it to start the game out. There's not really many miracles that I would be wanting to use. Cleric just doesn't have the stats that I want. Or I could always start out deprived and just build up the stuff that I want. Actually, you know what? That might be a really good way to go. Because then I'm not using really any unnecessary weapons or armor. To give myself an advantage for that. So let's do that instead. I think I want to start out with a fire gem so I can make a fire whip. Simon had a fire whip in Castlevania 2. So that kind of works. So let's see what we can do with faces and hair. I just leave you as a commoner. Gotta do something about the hair, though. Yeah, we'll make you rip, too. Why not? Skin color... face details. There we go. Now, what... Yeah, I'm almost thinking that's going to be our best bet. Should make his face a little more square looking. Not that square. I don't know. Leon kind of looked like that. Build. Yeah, well, that's good. Appearance. Alright, I think we're going to start off with Simon this way. No, I don't want him to be just ridiculously huge. Because then, then the hard leather armor would look a little weird on him. But yeah, I think we're going to go with this. So the goal for today is basically just to get through the tutorial area to the... either beat Udix Gundyr or maybe just get to the Firelink Shrine. And then we'll call it a day. Well, I've always wanted to do like a Castlevania type challenge. I know a lot of people have. I've seen videos on YouTube that show people doing it in PvP. I've always wanted to do one PvE as much as I could. Problem is, you usually don't get the whip until a bit later in the game. You never really start out with one in a good area. This one, the whip mechanics are improved over the first two games. The whip in the first two games was just not that good. In this one, it seems like it's a little bit better. And you can get the whip, the basic whip, relatively early on in the game. So that's what we're going to be going for, and going to be upgrading that weapon. And that's why I chose the fire gem. I think we're going to gem it to be a fire-infused whip. That way I don't have to rely on scaling very much. I just have to upgrade it to deal significantly more damage. I really don't want to have to worry about scaling too much until later on in the game. Because he's going to need a lot of hit points and a lot of endurance to survive. I'm still toying with the idea of whether or not I want to have some kind of small shield or not. Just for parrying or blocking purposes. I'm not quite sure yet. I don't really have to make that decision quite yet. I want to see how things are going first, and then we'll figure that out. I'm leaning towards no, but I know that's going to be a lot more difficult. So maybe we'll start out with no shield, and if it gets to be too difficult, there's just some part that I can't get past, maybe then we'll cave and use a shield. Rest, because I really don't want to use up any more Estus than I have to. Alright. No damage. Let's go for Udix Gundyr now. Nah, I forgot. That doesn't really increase my damage that much with only 10%. Yeah, go ahead and kick him. That's a great idea. Ouch! That might be... Oh, no! I'm still alive! That's actually pretty phenomenal. Yeah, saw that coming. Shouldn't have done that. Hey, buddy. Out of range of that. Dang it. Well, this could be problematic. Yep. Wow. That was very problematic. Sadly enough, I have done that fight before with the deprived and not taking a single hit. That was not the case here. Ouch. Well, that was a good start. I might as well just go reset. The problem is, since he has no armor whatsoever, he just takes so much damage. And that shield just sucks. I mean, one hit, and it already took out, what, a fifth of my health? So, I mean, we're not talking like I have a whole lot of durability here. Quite fragile. Even more fragile than a cleric or a mage or something like that. So, yeah, this makes this fight particularly tricky. A lot more careful than that. Oh, man. Again. Oh, man. Stop closing. There we go. That's better. Ugh. Honestly, I have more trouble, though, with that fight with a thief, I think, a sorcerer. At least this guy does decent damage since he has a club. Not the best weapon, but better than some of the other starting classes. Grab a few items, and then we'll head up to the Firelink. Oh my goodness! much damage. Oh my. Yeah, I'm not used to taking this much damage with someone. I'm used to having a little bit more damage resistance than, you know, nothing. I don't know if I want to tempt fate and accidentally get this guy mad. Okay, we're good. Because the thing I really don't want to do is piss off Mr. Master Swordsman there, because he will just destroy this guy. Hey, puppy. Bye, puppy. Ow! Seriously? Wow. I think I got stopped by the terrain there. Alright, what is the actual 41% physical damage reduction? Oof. That's a bit low. So I'm keeping the shield until we get some armor, because I am just going to get destroyed without it. Once we get some armor, we'll ditch the shield. Yeah, but for right now.
Welcome to the Lord. Farewell,
For now, let's see if we can get our short sword.
a weapon and Ash has it.
So then we'll keep that pretty much throughout the rest of the game. Yep, that's what we're gonna use. So it actually does slightly less damage than my club. Which is annoying, but it also has a much faster moveset. And overall will be better for what we want to do.
Ashen one.
And I'm not used to the controls in this game, so I apologize for that. Interesting, I didn't know that that one had a special. So once we go rescue Greerat, and he'll be sitting down there, then we'll be able to buy the hard leather set. And let's see here. I would love to infuse the fire gem into that, but I need to save that for my whip.
Very well, then take.
Alright, so let's do some initial level ups for vigor and endurance. And one for vitality.
Farewell,
I think we're going to call that good. Maybe we'll go make a few attempts at trying to get upstairs. And this is usually one of the harder things to do early in, or any time in the game, really, just because it's such a precise jump. I'm okay at this jump. I'm not particularly great. So we'll see how many times it takes me to get up here. Oh my goodness, the first try. Man, am I glad I had that on a recording. Wow. I've spent probably the better part of a half an hour or so trying to make that jump. Usually does not turn out that well for me. So I am happy with that. Wow, first try. Oh, you little jerk. There we go. go back around and we'll get the, I think it's silver Covetous Serpent Ring. That'll help us out a little bit in all the stuff that we're going to try to do, because we're going to need as many souls and as many levels as we can get. Because I am not expecting this playthrough to be any kind of easy. Yeah, because some spots are hard enough as it is. Some of the later bosses I'm really not looking forward to with this build. But we're going to try it anyway. Just because it's something fun to do. Let's equip that ring so we don't forget about that. Not much else we can do here. So, oops, no, there is something we can do here. We need to change our essences over.
What?
Reinforced, we just found the flask, and let's lock all over to regular essences.
Be careful.
I'm not going to be using any spells here for a long time to come, so I don't really care about the Ashen Estus. So again, in sticking with the Castlevania theme, I am actually not going to use any bows. In my normal playthroughs, I love having a decent bow where I can draw enemies in, pick them off, especially the dragon that's going to be coming up here in a little bit. But since you never really use bows in Castlevania, pretty much ever, we are going to skip the longbow that is over up on the other platform that I'm looking at right now. So we're just gonna pretend that doesn't really exist. It makes me pretty sad, actually, because I love having a bow. But we're gonna stick to it. Alright, so I think that's gonna do it for the first episode here. And after this, we are going to try to go through the rest of the lower Lothric Castle here, and maybe we'll try to get Bort in the next video too. So, alright, thanks for watching, and we will catch you guys later.